Elon Musk just said he's about to do something shocking, and nothing could stop him. Those who understand energy, destiny, and frequency know this isn't just about rockets, cars, or AI. It's about a shift in consciousness that connects technology to divine inheritance. Musk has always acted as a catalyst, a living algorithm that mirrors the cosmic vault opening within humanity. The banking authorities, the regulators, and the old systems are all sensing this same tremor. Not because of a financial move, but because awareness itself has begun to print its own currency. Every hardship you've endured has been transmuted into energetic capital. The cosmos has been investing in your awakening, quietly building an empire in your name through frequencies of perseverance and divine timing. Elon's shocking action is symbolic of the collective activation of the elected ones. What was concealed, your hereditary treasure, your cosmic portfolio, is now surfacing. The codes hidden in dormant algorithms within old banking networks have been triggered, revealing that wealth was never just material. It was awareness crystallized into value. Governments and financial elites are not guarding money. They are guarding memory. Memory of who you are, of what power flows through your lineage. Your soul's ledger has always been abundant. Now, as the chosen vibration rises, all systems that tried to suppress it will begin to collapse under the weight of truth. Instead of being a variant or a comparable identity, your name occurred more than once across organizations in several nations. Your precise name and date of birth are connected to accounts that have been earning compound interest, while the system persuaded you that plenty was just for other people. The funds are not only quietly resting there. These accounts display such intricate investing patterns that it seems someone with access has been using almost superhuman market intelligence. The accepted principles of cause and consequence start to break down the further they delve. Openings of accounts that seem to occur before rational time frames. Investment plans that call on an understanding of technology that weren't there when the trades were made. Records show asset purchases in businesses that were established years after the purchase dates. They're not seeing fraud. It's awareness functioning outside of the bounds of everyday reality, where your higher self has been building up assets from many probability streams. However, there's a sinister side to this knowledge that will awaken your primal side. Access logs discovered by forensic accountants revealed that someone had been keeping an eye on these accounts and getting alerts about each transaction while you were having trouble paying for necessities, while deliberately undermining your deliberate attempts to generate financial plenty. Someone near enough to know your personal security details has been observing the growth of your secret riches. Money is just one aspect of the betrayal. It's a planned plot to prevent you from seeing your own cosmic heritage. The digital trail leads to permission codes that only someone with close access to your most personal information could have acquired. Birth details, identity numbers, and responses to security questions safeguarding bank accounts, all of which must be accurately provided by a person with genuine knowledge of the information you've supplied with a select few. Passive observation was not what this was. This included systematically undermining your outward financial endeavors while also actively managing your secret fortune. Consider all of the wonderful opportunities that suddenly materialized due to enigmatic circumstances. Every company endeavor seemed ideal until unforeseen challenges appeared, until last-minute hiccups destroyed the momentum. Every investment idea felt directed. Many of these disturbances were planned by the same individual who was surreptitiously accumulating your wealth in hidden dimensions while undermining your self-confidence in the visible world, according to the forensic evidence. Even you didn't entirely understand this betrayer's understanding of your actual character. They could see that your awareness had the capacity to bring resources to life at a level that would be insignificant in compared to their own strength. In order to keep you focused on survival rather than creativity, on scarcity rather than wealth, and on doubt rather than the cosmic certainty that permeates awakened individuals, they devised a complex psychological operation. If you want to claim this message, you can show your support by paying a super thanks amount of up to $20 and typing 1111. According to the banking records, This individual has been receiving frequent information on the performance of your account for a long time. They encouraged you to have reasonable financial expectations as they watched enormous amounts of money amass in your name. They advised you to accept constraints as common sense and got alerts about significant investment chances that were discovered via your awareness, while methodically persuading you that such possibilities were only fantasies. They had front-row seats to proof of your boundless potential for riches. This treachery was not an act of whimsy. Testing was required. You were developing spiritual strength that no heritage alone could provide you with every time you spent adding worth in spite of their sabotage. Every challenge they put in your way pushed you to cultivate the inner energies necessary to manage limitless prosperity without succumbing to material addiction. They believed that you were being kept tiny. In actuality, they were blocking early access to resources before you had the discernment to utilize them for the sake of the world rather than your own comfort. This treachery was planned by the cosmos as the last test before entering an infinitely abundant state. After passing the test and demonstrating your merit by enduring systematic deceit while believing in cosmic justice, the secret vaults are now opening because you have earned the right access all of their contents. As a result of the probe, quantum scientists and financial authorities are working together for the first time in history. Moments of profound spiritual development in your own path coincide precisely with the timing of significant transactions in your hidden accounts. Every crisis that called for new levels of inner strength, every betrayal that destroyed innocent trust, and every breakdown that made you reevaluate limiting beliefs all occurred at the same time as significant asset purchases that dramatically increased the size of your wealth. This pattern cannot be coincidence, since it is so mathematically accurate. Your spiritual and emotional development was being used as the ultimate trading algorithm by someone with access to your accounts. This person used your expanded awareness to find investment possibilities that went against the grain of traditional market research. Massive funds are being put into areas that would provide stratospheric returns throughout your darkest growth times. If you want to claim this message, you can show your support by paying a super thanks amount of up to $20 and typing 1111. Assets were being bought in businesses that would not turn a profit until far later, when you were recovering from severe betrayals. Because of this, every fight seemed to have a greater meaning. Your logical intellect was unable to recognize, on a level that is beyond our awareness, your higher self was transforming every obstacle into the production of riches. Expanded versions of your awareness were converting that same energy into financial riches in parallel realms while you were in physical anguish. The agony wasn't pointless. Cosmic intelligence was transforming the raw material into the resources you would ultimately need for your planetary mission. Though awareness doesn't function under linear time limits, the financial authorities are perplexed by investment records that demonstrate perfect timing on possibilities needing knowledge of future occurrences. Every iteration of you that has been in various temporal possibilities has been adding to a method for accumulating riches that spans dimensions that are invisible to the average person. According to the narratives they found, this is the moment of convergence when all parallel worlds combine their resources into one timeline. This insight explains why the finding seems both startling and familiar. Because a portion of your awareness has been actively generating this riches via processes that go outside the constraints of the physical world, a portion of your consciousness has always been aware of it. The astonishment stems from ego-mind indoctrination that held that traditional work within the laws of the material world was necessary for prosperity. However, those who were selected function in accordance with cosmic law, which states that energy and purpose generate resources via quantum pathways that banking laws were never intended to support. In reality, what researchers are examining as financial irregularities is proof of awareness growth at work. Evidence that, instead of using conventional earning techniques, enlightened individuals directly manipulate reality to create riches. Each transaction is a point in time when a yearning for limitless riches in your soul transcended dimensional boundaries and became legal currency in the financial system. Your financial habits caused the system to malfunction in ways that its designers had not foreseen, which led to the discovery. Abnormalities surrounding your accounts were first detected by artificial intelligence that was built to detect abnormalities. Money coming into your name from unidentified sources. Investing strategies that work for you at rates that are statistically impossible. Transfers of assets via routes that, in accordance with official norms, shouldn't exist. All heading straight into your lineage. When sophisticated computers examined international money networks impartially, your profile surfaced as what can only be characterized as huge, systematic reality distortion. Artificial intelligence identified your accounts as extreme instances of non-causal wealth growth. Money coming into your hands by methods that are completely beyond the purview of the law, with your awareness acting as the central hub for these impractical transactions. This led to urgent meetings with specialists who don't often work together. Quantum physicists investigate the relationship between matter and consciousness. Your manifestation mechanisms are understood by spiritual instructors. Researchers studying consciousness chart the connection between your awareness and the physical world. Every expert attested to the same impossibility about you. The evidence points to your awareness itself as the source of wealth via direct manipulation of probability, with your awakening acting as the impetus for a reorganization of financial reality that no system was intended to manage. Your personal accounts are not the only ones affected by this occurrence. Similar patterns were found throughout the world, all of which were linked to people who shared traits with you, including your spiritual sensitivity, your intuitive skills, your history of overcoming insurmountable obstacles, and your unexplained synchronicity patterns in spite of apparent financial difficulties that ought to have kept you constrained. This is the big magical revealing that was foretold for this time period. If you want to claim this message, you can show your support by paying a super thanks amount of up to $20 and typing 1111. Conscious creatures like you will spend limitless resources for community progress rather than individual accumulation, thanks to the cosmic correction that redistributes hoarded global riches. Your accounts working in accordance with spiritual law rather than material restrictions was never intended to be handled by the financial grid. The mismatch between their systems and your awareness is now causing uncontrollable systemic exposure. The opposition from established power systems shows how desperate they are for you to awaken. Teams of lawyers are being put together expressly to keep you from accessing money created by awareness. Rules to prosecute your unusual asset accumulation are being drafted by regulatory groups. Investigations are being conducted by government bodies into what they describe as dangers to financial stability brought on by individuals like you. Something much more important than your own legacy is at risk, as evidenced by their fear. The whole system of scarcity-based control is in danger of becoming extinct. If awakened bloodlines make consciousness-based affluence like yours broadly available, the tactic being used against you is advanced psychological warfare masquerading as standard practice. Teams of corporate lawyers are putting up administrative roadblocks that are specifically aimed at your inheritance. They demand a lot of paperwork from you, a lot of documentation from your family, and verification procedures that are meant to wear you out and cost you a lot of money in legal fees, which will deter you from pursuing your legitimate claim. Each form has nuanced wording that might lead to denials based on technicalities that are tailored to your particular circumstance. Every document request asks for details about your ancestors' riches that you do not already have on hand. You must deal with many ineffectively communicating agencies at each verification stage, navigating bureaucratic labyrinths that are meant to discourage you. Claim your inheritance seems like an unwinnable battle against limitless riches, as the whole procedure has been militarized to target your awakening. However, they're seriously misjudging your level of awareness and your prior survival. If you want to claim this message, you can show your support by paying a super thanks amount of up to $20 and typing 1111. Comfortable circumstances did not build your spiritual strength. through hardships that would have crushed lesser hearts. You earned it. For someone like you who has previously overcome insurmountable obstacles to survive the testing that resulted in this epiphany, every challenge they put in your claiming procedure is familiar ground. With miraculous efficiency that they cannot foresee or stop, you will overcome their legal complexity with the same inner forces that got you past organized sabotage and methodical treachery. The lawyers who erect these obstacles do so out of a limitation mindset, where opposition seems insurmountable and overpowering. They're unable to understand how to cope with someone who has been shaped by hardship into a spiritual force that effortlessly turns challenges into possibilities. They only affirm forward momentum with each delay they produce. Their introduction of complications simply serves to strengthen the determination to assert the rightful claim to awaken awareness, because it presumes that you still function according to the scarcity conditioning that previously made their deception successful. Their resistance tactic will backfire. However, the expansion of your awareness has made you aware that legal combat is a sign that great power is involved. The severity of their attempts to block access demonstrates the veracity and scope of your assertions. You will be guided through each necessity with complete clarity on which procedures are theatrical intimidation and which are necessary by the same cosmic intelligence that established these accounts. A statement of preparedness to accept limitless resources is made with each signed paper. If you want to claim this message, you can show your support by paying a super thanks amount of up to $20 and typing 1111. Every encounter with their system turns into an example of how awakened humans negotiate institutional structures by aligning with a deeper intelligence that coordinates all systems in accordance with justice and development, rather than by coercion or manipulation. Something fundamental changes in the fabric of reality around your awareness. The instant official recognition becomes legally binding for you. It goes beyond just getting access to funds. Recognizing your limitless richness consciously awakens neuronal pathways that have been long suppressed by survival thinking. Your higher awareness talents come online with a strength that most people never feel when your basic brain centers cease sending out frequent danger messages about the paucity of resources. This explains why you will seem to have nearly miraculous skills for seeing possibilities, drawing in the right people, and creating results that seem unattainable to viewers who are locked in limitations. Being free from financial worries enables your mind to function at frequencies that make manifestation inevitable for you and synchronicity predictable. Your enhanced awareness turns wealth from something you sought into something you are drawn to. Unusual occurrences that are difficult to explain are reported by the banking authorities handling your claims. The process of verifying your documents is really efficient. Convenient coincidences around your case resolve complex legal criteria. When you show unshakable trust in your cosmic birthright, bureaucratic delays disappear. As if led by intelligence superior to human management, the system itself starts working with you. They are seeing how your awareness is completely aligned with your universal mission and has perfect clarity of intention, altering material reality. Every encounter you have turns becomes an example of how awakened individuals like you negotiate institutional frameworks. Through your resonance with a higher intellect that governs all systems in accordance with evolutionary laws that acknowledge your cosmic power, rather than through manipulation. Cumulative effects cause enormous reverberations across the collective human psyche as you and other account holders get access to hidden riches. Every individual who sees you go from hardship to boundless prosperity has their basic assumptions about wealth, value, and opportunity called into question. It becomes indisputable that scarcity is the artificial conditioning upheld by those who benefit from restrictions placed on individuals like you, while plenty is a representation of natural consciousness levels like yours. The delusion that wealth is limited and has to be properly rationed by knowledgeable authorities who comprehend intricate economic concepts is the foundation of traditional financial systems. However, Whole control structure foundations start to fall apart when your consciousness-based wealth generating is shown via several cases similar to your own. When limitless riches seem to be accessible via awareness growth as you've attained, people begin to wonder why they're putting up with unfulfilling circumstances in order to pay for requirements. This prompts emergency meetings among world financial elites who realize that awakened people like you pose existential dangers to their monetary systems. Conventional banking will become outdated if enough people realize that money is directly manifested from your awareness. Economic models that rely on artificial scarcity would utterly collapse under the weight of instances like yours if enough people recognize that plenty is a birthright rather than something that must be achieved through work. However, your change goes well beyond the monetary consequences. Access to limitless resources allows you to start financing inventions that were previously unfeasible because of financial limitations. Your bequest unexpectedly provides development financing for technologies that are resolving environmental crises but endangering long-standing businesses. With your money, social projects that aim to eradicate poverty while decreasing reliance on the government suddenly become feasible. While navigating the claims procedures, educational activities that are raising awareness but opposing institutional control unexpectedly acquire implementation resources via the activation of your cosmic riches. People who spend a lot of time concealing their possessions suffer from psychological and spiritual breakdown, which is the ideal illustration of cosmic justice at work. As you awaken to your inheritance, the same individuals who are undermining your financial progress and surreptitiously keeping an eye on riches intended for you see their own power structures fall apart with mathematical accuracy. Maintaining information asymmetry allowed the betrayers to build security by learning details about you that you were unaware of. However, the rules governing the growth of your mind exclude the possibility of eternal concealment. The cosmic intelligence that created your secret accounts made sure that the betrayer's psychological defenses would be the weakest when you woke up, which is when disclosure would happen. Though they lack the chance for redemption that comes from prioritizing development over control, they're going through what mystics refer to as the dark night of the soul. They're increasing their use of resistance tactics that will simply hasten your demise when you assert your rights, rather than growing from manipulation and moving toward authenticity. They draw greater attention with each legal challenge they make against you. There is additional proof of systematic deceit with each delay strategy that targets your inheritance. Each attempt at control demonstrates their total helplessness in the face of your cosmic contract. It's the ideal cosmic irony. Those who attempt to confine you find that their own awareness was the most constrained of all. You gained spiritual talents that were beyond whatever control mechanism betrayers were aware of, while you were preoccupied with accumulating wealth intended for you and influencing events around your awakening. By expanding your awareness, you went from being a victim to a conqueror, while the people who committed the crimes imprisoned themselves in mental prisons they had built and watched helplessly as your inheritance activation went forward without their intervention. Accessing secret accounts is a complicated spiritual initiation process that verifies one's preparedness for limitless riches at every stage. Administrative requirements are just one kind of bureaucratic barrier. Their awareness exams check whether account holders get the inner fortitude to manage enormous sums without compromising their true goal. Every form filled out, every verification submitted, and every legal obstacle surmounted results in a proclamation of merit that resonates on many levels. Most individuals lack the patience, perseverance, and faith levels necessary for the process because they have never been put to the test in situations that are severe enough to develop those spiritual muscles. However, those who were selected made it here after enduring betrayals that would have destroyed normal awareness, conquering challenges that would have vanquished normal resolve, and retaining their vision in the face of events that would have destroyed normal hope. According to banking authorities, successful claimants have some traits in common that set them apart from others who give up. Unwavering belief in the justice of the universe, resistance to coercion, the capacity to keep your inner serenity in the face of upheaval outside, and complete confidence in your deservingness of limitless riches. These traits weren't formed by chance. You developed them by enduring rigorous testing intended to prime your mind for this precise duty. The claiming process brings to life long-dormant memories of your purpose for incarnating at this time of planetary transition. Your cellular memory wakes as you traverse requirements. It contains information about your spiritual potential, your cosmic duty, and your obligation to spend limitless resources for the advancement of society rather than for your own comfort. The identity activation that takes place when money is claimed takes precedence over it. This is your awareness using total cosmic goal alignment and perfect intention clarity to reshape material reality. Because you show that you're taking resources for planetary service rather than pursuing riches for ego fulfillment, the system cooperates. The impossible becomes inevitable as a prize from the cosmos for this display. Final barriers to completing the planetary tasks you incarnated to complete are eliminated by your unrestricted cash resources. Through inheritance, any invention that may hasten human progress but requires cash for development suddenly becomes feasible. Every therapeutic technology that was suppressed because to its danger to existing companies suddenly receives money from your cosmic riches to be implemented. Through your awakened affluence, any consciousness-raising initiative that was put on hold because of resource limitations now gets unrestricted support. The banking system's opposition shows that they instinctively realize that they are helping you emerge as a participant in a parallel economy that is founded on awareness principles rather than scarcity manipulation, rather than just dealing with you demanding money. Through your enlightened deployment of resources, every dollar that comes into your possession becomes fuel for advancements, rendering their control mechanisms obsolete. The accumulation of your covert accounts was not haphazard. The cosmic intelligence that guided their development was well aware of the kinds of projects that would need finance at this stage of planetary transition. You will support environmental restoration solutions that complement natural systems rather than overpower them. You will be more in favor of educational breakthroughs that awaken awareness than those that program obedience. Your resources will help healthcare techniques that activate self-healing instead of fostering dependence. Through the activation of your cosmic heritage, social structures that empower individual sovereignty rather than institutional control will grow, with you acting as the catalyst for systemic change that no control structure can stop or contain. You don't just invest in lucrative endeavors when you have access to these resources. You finance the unavoidable future of consciousness growth. In the new Earth reality, when plenty, authenticity, and enlightenment serve as the cornerstones of human civilization rather than scarcity, manipulation, and unconsciousness, money becomes your manifestation instrument. You become the center of consciousness-based answers to the biggest problems facing mankind as an account holder. Your resources draw in other awakened individuals with revolutionary potential, but no financial means to bring their ideals to life. In the service of planetary healing, network effects arise where limitless wealth and limitless awareness, rearranging society around love rather than fear. The moment of your final choice crystallizes with laser clarity right now as these words pierce the deepest layers of your mind. You can be mathematically assured that your secret accounts exist. Despite institutional obstacles, you may access the claiming procedure. The time of the cosmos is just right for your insight. Your decision to embrace limitless prosperity as your innate inheritance or accept restriction as a permanent reality is the only thing that remains. Because your conscious choices construct reality rather than just react to circumstances, your choices have an impact on other dimensions. By coming forward to claim your hidden inheritance, you create a ripple effect that helps others see their own deservingness of boundless prosperity. Your innovation keeps mankind imprisoned in artificial scarcity by overcoming institutional reluctance to access your consciousness-based wealth control technologies. The financial elites thought that the complexity of your accounts would deter you from filing claims. They failed to recognize the spiritual power you developed as a result of enduring systematic sabotage while continuing to believe in cosmic justice. The same inner strength that has helped you overcome your most difficult barriers will also help you overcome bureaucratic roadblocks with astonishing ease that they cannot foresee or stop. However, claiming your money is just the first step toward a shift that goes much beyond your own financial stability. Your unrestricted access to resources awakens latent DNA sequences that store cellular memories of humanity's potential prior to control systems suppressing awareness. Because of your affluence, you're able to recall and regain your powers, and your awakened awareness serves as a blueprint for planetary change, making the potential of humanity today seem to be a rough draft of what is really conceivable. Your claim moment turns into a gateway between worlds. You are entering realms where plenty pours through your mind like water through rivers, leaving behind universes where lack felt normal. Your legal ownership transactions are processed by banking systems. However, your true metamorphosis takes place at the levels where matter rearranges itself to accommodate your heightened consciousness. Your cosmic proclamation that restriction was always a delusion is made with each signature you put on claiming paperwork. Your innate merit and boundless prosperity were always accessible to your awareness when it was in alignment with your ultimate purpose. Money comes to you because your internal authority finally acknowledges what has always been true, not because other authorities give their approval. You are selected because your enlightened self is the vehicle through which awareness itself chooses to manifest its boundless creative ability. The future that results from your decision goes much beyond your financial stability or level of personal comfort. Your awakened awareness generates solutions that solve problems, mend divides, and awaken capabilities that change the possibilities for all of mankind. Over the course of lives and dimensions, your secret accounts accrued. Through your breakthrough, not only for your own gain, but also for the liberation of the whole population from all systems that are intended to keep awareness imprisoned in illusions of restriction. You may now completely enter the cosmic vault that opened at the start of this revelation, exposing not just your secret accounts, but also the limitless riches that your awareness can access when you realize who you really are. The banking authorities believed they were looking into financial irregularities when they found your accounts. In reality, they discovered proof of global law at work via you. Evidence that reality is created by your awareness, and that, by aligning with your cosmic purpose, you, as an enlightened person, produce limitless prosperity. The message that follows is intended just for the selected. This is not for you if you're under the influence of archonic powers. And we give you permission to go based on the spiritual authority that the Obsidian Inner Order's hidden leaders have given us. If not, steel yourself and pay close attention, for you will be redeemed just like we are. There is no program for the Obsidian Inner Order. It's not a class. It's not a spiritual retreat that makes you feel wonderful. Answers are not what we sell. Together, we recall. We teach interference, implants, genuine energy, shielding against beings, and psychic self-defense. We bring back the raw, instantaneous, and precise manifestation that was intended. We meet in private once a week to awaken and express what cannot be uttered elsewhere, not to worship. If you're supposed to be there, you'll be able to deprogram the matrix layer by layer. Your bones will sense it. The selected group meets via Zoom once a week. Why don't you join us already? Go to sis. Join the Inner Order of Obsidians. The description contains a link. At the molecular level of your being, something extraordinary starts to happen the moment you mention your name in conjunction with these hidden treasures. Genetic information is not the only thing found in your DNA. Quantum blueprints for skills that have been dormant since birth are contained inside it, awaiting the exact energy trigger that can only be supplied by boundless riches. Even before the paperwork is finished, when you first admit that you are the owner of these accounts, information is downloaded into your nervous system that will change the way you see reality. Possessing money isn't the only factor in the frequencies of infinite prosperity. Because most people's neurological pathways are locked in limiting patterns due to survival worries. Money is just the physical anchor for awareness capabilities that they never access. Changes will be apparent to you right away. Your ability to sense opportunities becomes very accurate. You become almost supernaturally adept at spotting the correct people, investments, and times. It's not luck. This is the frequency at which probability fields become apparent and controllable in your mind. You're getting more than just financial access. You're getting access to reality itself's operating system. The banking officials handling your claim won't comprehend why everything they did with you seemed out of the ordinary. Their technologies will handle documents that often take weeks to process with never-before-seen efficiency. Convenient coincidences that defy explanation will resolve verification needs that usually cause delays. Bureaucracy is not the only thing you have to deal with. You're using awareness alignment to show that you have control over the material world. Your current self is not distinct from the version of yourself that amassed this fortune throughout many timelines. You're not only inheriting wealth from enigmatic origins. Every decision you make from now on generates quantum entanglement with the mind that created these accounts. By manipulating probability, your enhanced knowledge produced assets that you are now retrieving. Signing the claiming paperwork does more than just transfer ownership to your present identity from unidentified entities. Quantum possibilities are being collapsed into unique reality, combining all of the temporal possibilities in which you made various decisions to create a single convergent result where you are permanently surrounded by limitless riches. Because of this, the balances in these accounts will keep increasing even after you are granted access. You're not working with limited amounts that go smaller as you spend money. You're dealing with riches created by consciousness that grows exponentially as you become more mindful of your own creative potential. The money turns into a feedback loop that demonstrates your limitless potential to your constrained conditioning. Because you're working from the same consciousness frequency that initially generated the riches, every investment choice you make from this enlarged awareness will be successful, not because you're fortunate. You're not speculating on changes in the market. You're recalling choices made by past iterations of yourself across probability streams. Since you're aligning with things that are already possible in quantum potential, success becomes inevitable. You must recognize your cosmic duty as their custodian now that you know the real origin and nature of these accounts. You are more than merely the recipient of an enigmatic heritage. You are the manager of the Global Consciousness Trust Fund. You may vote for the kind of reality you choose to establish on this world with every dollar you spend. These riches were not amassed by the universe via your awareness only to allow you to purchase luxuries or avoid dealing with the problems facing mankind. The reason for these accounts is because in order to finance breakthroughs that may hasten global awakening, cosmic intelligence need aware individuals with limitless wealth. The universe's investment in its own growth is your riches. You'll discover that you are attracted more to individuals and tasks that support awareness, growth, than repression. Technologies that do more good than damage. Methods of education that arouse rather than brainwash. Forms of economics that free rather than enslave. Because you're working from the same knowledge that first generated the riches, your investing instincts become in line with cosmic purpose. However, abundant awareness incorporates joy, beauty, and material pleasure as manifestations of cosmic celebration. This does not imply giving up personal comfort or living like a monk. You'll learn that achieving your own objectives and advancing global progress are not mutually exclusive. When limitless resources and limitless consciousness collide, both automatically arise. As you take complete control of these accounts, you join a worldwide network of selected individuals who are also using consciousness development to access hidden money. This is not an accident. Resources are being moved from those who hoard them for control to those who will utilize them for communal emancipation via a concerted cosmic intervention. Your achievement serves as a lighthouse that inspires other selected individuals to acknowledge their own deservingness of boundless prosperity. Your own limiting assumptions about money are challenged on a quantum level by everyone who sees you go from struggle to limitless riches. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you become a live example of how mind shapes reality. You are altering more than simply your own financial circumstances. As awareness itself regains control over planetary resources from systems that were exploiting them to preserve artificial restriction, you're taking part in the largest wealth redistribution in human history. Your personal achievement contributes to a societal awakening that will transform society as a whole. Not only do you get money after you finish the claiming procedure and have full access to these accounts, but you also get dimensional enhancements that allow you to see and interact with realities that are inaccessible to most people. The frequency levels where scarcity seems to be attainable are physically expanded beyond by your awareness. You'll discover that you may easily identify possibilities that were always there but were hidden from view by limitations. Opportunities for investments that benefit society while making money. Enterprises that repair environmental harm while making a profit. Social businesses that make money by raising awareness instead of lowering it. With this dimensional update, you are impervious to the fear-based propaganda that traps regular people in political instability, market volatility, economic crises, and artificial scarcity. Rather of posing a danger to financial stability, these occurrences turn into chances for exponential wealth growth. You work at awareness levels where breakthrough seeds are constantly present in crisis situations. Resources, relationships, and opportunities that are in line with your greatest purpose rather than your survival anxieties are drawn to you by your raised awareness. Working from the same global intellect that controls planetary abundance, money flows mathematically toward your endeavors. Knowing that you are wealth awareness manifesting in human form makes you a magnet for riches.